Hey.
Hello. How are you? Good to see you,
good.
Allie.
Nice to see everybody too. Hello.
Yes,
So
welcome
excited.
to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle on our Tuesday edition. We aren't quite halfway through the week, but my gosh, people are sure up in arms and whining and crying about a little bit of, I guess, cleaning up the streets. When has anybody ever offered to clean your house and you've thrown a fit?
Not me.
Not me. Especially if you order some National Guard troops in. Come on in.
I'm saying, come on in. Come clean it up.
I got boxes to put away. Yeah, guys, we're going to talk about that and show you some of the protests.
Shelves while you're at it. I just,
you hang that picture up high because there's some things that I just don't want to do.
There's the chandelier that's in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. It's just great.
That you can't quite dust. Everybody has something to say about what's taking place in DC. We're going to take a lot of time here today to make sure that our viewers understand what everybody's saying, all different aspects of it and why it's such a good thing. Allie, I know we're also going to talk about Adam Schiff today, Shifty Schiff, or as I say, oh, Schiff.
Oh, Schiff. I like that, actually. We should totally keep
Let's get swag made with oh, Schiffs.
Oh, Schiff. And you heard that here live on Open Mic. So buckle in because we got a lot to talk about. Go ahead. Let's open that mic up.
To where we started, we're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do? They try to cancel you. MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, you gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor MAGA, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
What do you do when they come for you? Freedom's what you gotta lose. Red hat stays on.
Sorry, y'all.
Our viewers.
I'm checking all of our social media to make sure we're up all the way and we're getting comments in. So, guys, if you are joining us from any platform, please make sure you like, share, and comment so that we can engage with you. We'll shout you out live on our show. We would love to get to know you as you get to know us and learn about all of the breaking news that is occurring around the nation.
Absolutely.
And especially from our Spotify audience. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you all so much.
We appreciate you all so much. And Allie, it's funny. I'm watching that opening there, and I don't know if there's anybody who watches our show that doesn't get if your foot's not at least tapping. Like, I remember we had with a different production team, 2 guys that don't listen to that kind of music at all. But when our song would come on, they would be like dancing around. You just can't help but not. It's kind of a tune. It's one of those tunes.
It's definitely one that gets stuck in your head. So I don't even know if we should really change it, to be honest with you. I like it.
I know.
Like every time I listen to Joy FM, it's like they're on for 4 hours, and it's like every hour breaks, and like that's the song that comes on. You know what I mean?
You hear it.
Know it. Like you can hear it as soon as you say Joy FM. Like that's just the song that is in your head. So I don't know. You hear open mic. Do you think of Red Hat Stays On? Like, is that the song? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're going to do going into 28. The red hat stays on. MAGA is not going anywhere, period.
Right.
Not even in the midterms. But we do have to make sure that we are putting our foot fully on the gas.
Yes.
No brakes. Because we
can't. No break at all. And this is why, but before we get into our covering Trump's press conference, I do want to let our viewers know there was some breaking news, unfortunate news that broke yesterday. We just want to update you guys here on it. The Texas shooting in Austin, Texas, at a Target. Let's listen to a little bit of the press conference, and then we'll discuss it. Take a listen.
The police were initially called here at 2:15 p.m. for a hotshot call. Officers arrived within 4 minutes. When officers arrived, they were met with 3 people that were shot inside the parking lot of Target. The suspect fled the scene, stole a car from the scene, took that car, wrecked that car, then hijacked another car. He was then found by Austin PD in South Austin, where he was taken into custody after a tasing. We have 3 people that are deceased. This is a very sad day for Austin. It's a very sad day for us all.
Very sad day indeed, guys. Make sure you keep them in your prayers. Those that and it sounds like there was a history of mental health issues, and so they did detain him alive. So I'm sure we'll get more questions. Hopefully he'll speak. Yeah,
I do. I hope that this brings up this whole mental illness like conversation.
Yeah,
psychosis is a real thing, and I think when you have bureaucracy kind of take hold of certain aspects in our corporations, I guess you'd say, or in our supposed to be trusted medical facilities, I think you tend to get things like this that are exacerbated, and nobody really gets to the root cause. And we need to really start talking about the effects of SSRIs and antidepressants on exacerbated mental health issues, because I think
Allie,
they do play a part.
That is so true. And I'm glad that you bring that up, because I think that's probably an angle that no one's really discussing right now. The first thing everybody wants to go to is guns, and they just do that because it's a hot issue to politicize. But are we really getting to the root of the issue? It doesn't explain away people that attain guns illegally. That doesn't help. So, but looking at the heart, the mental health, what role is pharma playing in this? I think it's a great idea.
What role are the bureaucrats playing in it? Like you've seen what happened with our kids, right? When it came to gender dysphoria, they were essentially telling you, like, if you were bulimic and you thought that you were fat, like, go ahead, go to the bathroom. Yeah, you are fat. You should throw up your food every time you eat it. That's essentially what they were doing when kids would come in and say, I don't feel comfortable in my body, at an age where you are not going to feel comfortable in your body. I don't feel comfortable in my body right now sometimes. Like, and I'm almost 40. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So when you have medical institutions that are pushing a specific agenda and won't actually look for the root cause of things, nothing ever gets really solved. And so I think that is the conversation that needs to happen around
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Great insight in that, Allie. I love that. Guys, we are going to obviously explore a lot here in our show. What took place yesterday with the press conference, which I love that he chose to do it at the 10 o'clock hour. I'm like, sir, do you not know that open mic is on? You're not doing your press conference at 11. Clearly, he's not that concerned about it. But yesterday, Trump.
The best show. I heard him say it.
No, we need to get Sean Farage to say it, which we'll hear from him later in the show. He basically federalized D.C., invoking Section 740 of the Home Rule Act to place Washington, D.C., Metropolitan Police directly under the supervision of the National Guard, bringing in National Guard troops between 800 to 1,000 so far. Take a listen to when it happened. He's calling it Liberation Day. Take a listen of his press conference.
Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly like we did on the southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder.
Liberation Day, and it's red and blue. Everybody should be behind this, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't see why you would even have city council members come out and strongly oppose the cleaning up of crime in your city. I don't understand how community members can actively protest cleaning up your city. Like, why are you guys always at the tail end of the issue? Any issue, you're at the 20% end of the issue. It is ridiculous.
That's what Trump derangement syndrome does. It takes away common sense, and it makes you all in your feels, and it makes you react to that. And what that does is you end up on like the 20% of the issue, the wrong side of the issue. He's making Democrats, he's making liberals come out and say, we don't want our streets cleaned up.
Right. Exactly. Like, so this is the exact that, I mean, just, it is crazy to me. Like, this does not make sense at all. Why people would oppose lowering crime.
And so one of the leaders, obviously, is the DC mayor, Muriel Bauer. And I love how Trump said, you know, she's nice enough, but she's not strong on crime. And she's come out and pushed back and said why she's not in favor of this. They're saying that because the numbers have been dropping with the crime rate. Take a listen to her, because I couldn't believe she said it, but she did. Take a listen.
It is also true that we experienced a crime spike post-COVID, but we worked quickly to put laws in place and tactics that got violent offenders off our streets and gave our police officers more tools, which is why we have seen a huge decrease in crime because of those efforts. We have been able to reverse that 2020.
So they've been able to walk back people being told they can't go to work and they have to be locked down. That crime rate, they've been able to walk that back, which they caused, by the way, because they told you couldn't go to school and couldn't go to work. So what else were you supposed to do? Maybe not rob a convenience store, but I don't see how going from being really bad on crime to being almost really bad on crime is still good.
It's not. And then they got rid of They did what? They got rid of cash bail or something like that?
Yeah. Well, yes. What they want to go to is the no cash bail. So that way people can't
No. So what I'm saying is they let criminals out. I got it wrong. So they let criminals out
Yes.
for egregious crimes all the time. So
all
yeah,
the
they
time.
may be arresting them, but crime's not down because you've arrested them. You've let them back out on the street 2 days later or a day later.
We also saw the police, not the police chief, the second in command actually be suspended yesterday. Was it yesterday or last week?
For fudging numbers.
For fudging numbers, for saying, well, instead of it being basically just lowering the classification of the crime committed. So your numbers they still don't compute to me, because now that I know that you can fudge numbers, listen, you can fudge numbers, you can fudge data all day long. When they tell you to believe the data, you got to ask who's in charge of the data, because that's the person I don't believe. I'm with you, Allie. This doesn't pass votes. And you know what? It doesn't.
They said it's not about the votes that are cast; it's about who counts the votes cast.
And the machines that are included in that. And that's all we're going to say. That's all I have to say about that. But the people in DC, listen, they can be blue-haired and have a different opinion politically than me, but they're not. This isn't passing the sniff test for them either. Take a quick listen.
From drug deals
a shooting here 2 days ago
to bullets flying not far from where kids were playing at the Kennedy Rec Center.
What can we do to make sure that it's safe for the kids?
Neighbors from the Shaw, Mount Vernon Square, and Mount Vernon Triangle neighborhoods say they're fed up.
In the past 4 weeks, we've had 3 shootings.
Stephen McCarty is the ANC for the area. He organized this week's public safety walk.
We need to bring everyone together because this is happening here.
On hand to hear their concerns, DC Police 3rd District Commander Sean Connors.
And I can tell you right now, we have less shootings here than we had at this point last year.
He told them that by the numbers, crime is down. In fact, DC police say crime is down across the entire city.
Does anyone here actually think that?
But if you ask these DC neighbors,
it shows such a lack and disconnect between what you're trying to sell versus what we're experiencing.
Their perception, how they feel, is unsafe.
That's not like hard-hitting
account, or are we not? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, Allie, that's not hard-hitting journalism there. That's not 60 Minutes. That is just somebody going, okay, do you see the disconnect here?
Yeah. I mean, your mayor is telling you that crime is down while everybody is experiencing. Benny Johnson lived in DC before he moved to Florida, and he went to Twitter, X, and went to Instagram and literally posted his front door camera videos of when there was a murder that took place on his front door steps. He was not involved. The apartment or the house was set on fire while his daughter and his wife were at home. Like, this is insane. He's like, this is insane. An everyday occurrence.
Did you hear my phone have like a I don't know,
was
Sean
that
Froch? That was Sean.
That was Sean.
Not now. No, sorry. That's our FBI guy playing a trick on us. And what you're alluding to is Benny Johnson put that video out. We'll get to that here in a minute. But yeah, there's obviously a disconnect between what they're trying to tell people that live in those neighborhoods that say, listen, maybe they are a Democrat, but they still have a right to feel safe, right?
Right.
We should care about that.
Right. This is like fair. This is like school, quality education. Quality education is not a left or right issue. It's a nonpartisan issue. Every parent, Black, brown, yellow, or indifferent.
Yes.
You want your child to have the most success when they go to school. You want them to have different education modalities. Why? Because not every child learns the same. Not one size fits all. It's the same in a neighborhood. You want everywhere to be safe. If your children are going down the block to the corner store to grab a soda, you don't want them to be abducted or shot or, drive by or watch someone get shot up with like fentanyl and die. And then they're traumatized, like a block from your house. Absolutely.
Allie, Trump was talking about just how filthy Washington, D.C. is. And we can vouch for this firsthand. Listen, I love it's okay. So when I went there with you for the inauguration, that was my first time being in D.C. It was not your first time, but it was mine. So I got to see it like a kid. It was like, oh, look at all this cool stuff. And yes, it's wonderful. There's a lot of history there, but it's not a place that you would want to take your family the way it was before this. I don't know. We'll see how it ends up. But filthy, just really filthy. Listen to Trump talk about this, and I want to get your take on it, Allie.
Said, my father always used to tell me, I had a wonderful father, very smart. And he used to say, son, when you walk into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in. Because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also. Same thing with the Capitol. If our Capitol's dirty, our whole country is dirty, and they don't respect us. So it's a very good question, actually.
I can agree with that. Now, and you take this for what you want, but when he says that, it just, and I'm going to say this because this is an experience of mine that I have actually seen.
Okay.
Well, I was walking to work. I was there on a business trip. We were going to, I'm not going to say where, but I was with a group of folks and we were going up somewhere to get some training done. And we lit during the day, okay, early morning. We're walking from our hotel to the business complex that we're going to, the building we're going to. Literally saw a homeless man taking care of himself. Like wide open for everyone to see. And I'm just like, wow, okay. So is that DC? Is that the tone we're setting for the rest of the nation? And I said this in a video that I made yesterday, but I didn't put it out because I wanted to kind of redo it, but I'll probably do it again. It's just
good.
Why would we not want DC to be the beacon of what law and order looks like? Why would you want to come to the United States Capitol and see the filth and disgust and the lawlessness that you see when you walk in DC and not think that that is what is in Congress and not think that that is what is in the White House? He is 100% correct. Perception is reality for people. And if you are a dignitary coming to visit the United States and that's the Capitol you walk into, you're not going to have respect for anybody.
It's almost like we joked about the fact that, daddy's home with Donald Trump, but really it feels like daddy just came home and he's like, clean this up. We're not living like this. Help your mom out.
We're not hoeing out in the street no more, ma'am. You better tighten it up. Lock it down.
Lock it down. Dad said lock it down.
And stop running around DC like a dog with a little pink thing hanging out. Go handle your business in your room. Go clean it up. Stop being a hoochie scooch and clean up the mess. Stop doing drugs. Clean up the mess. Go clean up your backyard.
We are not taking the neighborhood down with us. Clean it up. And I appreciate that. I think that, listen, we should be.
I think I may have gotten us canceled.
Let me check the YouTube stream, see if it's on. You did say hooch.
Mom is gonna text us. She's gonna be like, "What did you just say?" I'm sorry, Mom. I was mad.
I'm sorry, Mom.
It's our capital. We have to have pride in our capital.
But where do you think we heard it from? We probably heard it from Mama. So, speaking of real videos of the real chaos in Washington D.C. Obviously, we know Benny Johnson here in the state of Florida, but now lives in Florida. But as a journalist and as somebody who covered, DC politics all the time, he lived in Washington, DC, doesn't anymore. Take a quick look at this video, then we'll explain what's going on. So we can bring it back, Krista. That is a mass shooting. That was a mass shooting that took place in front of his house in DC, as he describes it, on his front lawn, followed by his house being set on fire with his wife and infant child inside. He now has many more children. They obviously moved to Florida.
Because it's safer.
Because DeSantis faffos all the time. He's like, try it.
It's just safer. You can't get safer than a retirement state. I don't know. I guess it depends on where you are. I was going to call out a county, but I'm not going to.
I know you were. Nice. And then you're like, wait a minute. Maybe that can be clipped later.
Probably nice. But people in Florida know what Florida's really about. I'm just saying. That's
you know where to go. You know where to get gas. You know where not to get gas. You do.
Nobody should. I mean, yes, there are going to be places in our nation that are going to have these things, but when you have to look at leadership, and we have to have safe streets. We really do, because otherwise our children are being traumatized in ways that you can't fathom. And in order for them to be successful in life. You don't want them to be in hyper fight or flight all the time. So you want to be able to provide a safe environment for them as much as possible, which is why when you have gerrymandering and you have Democrats that are in office that don't want safer streets because it fills their back pockets with prison, what is that? Statistics and things of that nature. Like we can't have that. Quotas, that's the word.
We can't. Yes, exactly. You can't hide the numbers just because you don't like what the numbers say about your district or about your state or your city.
And you can't just talk about it. You got to do it. Like there's a lot of y'all, they run on these. This is why I tell you, you have to connect what they say while they're on the campaign trail with what their actions are while they're serving. Because if they come to you and they're like, we're going to clean up crime, and then while they're in office, they defund the police and don't train them and then give all of your tax dollars to illegal aliens, that's not winning on a campaign promise. You literally you grifted the people.
And Allie, this has been reported on both sides of the aisle. I love how Trump started his press conference by saying this. You cannot agree with him on things. You can consider yourself anti-Trump, but even the leftist media is now coming out and saying, yeah, I've been mugged. Take a listen to this. This reporter tell her story about living in DC.
We've been talking so much about the numbers, and usually that's how you play devil's advocate, is you talk about, oh, well, stats say crime is down. However, I can tell you firsthand here in downtown DC where we work, right here around our bureau, just in the past 6 months, there were 2 people shot. 1 person died, literally 2 blocks down here from the bureau. It was within the last 2 years that I actually was jumped walking just 2 blocks down from here. And then just this morning, one of my coworkers said her car was stolen a block away from the bureau. So we can talk about the numbers going down, but crime is happening every single day because we're all experiencing it firsthand while working and living down here.
100%. I know staffers that have been stabbed. Yes. I know staffers and people that work in DC, like up at the Capitol, have been jumped or almost raped jogging.
Yes.
Like this is something that is occurring that nobody is exempt from when you live there. And when we were going, like every time I'm up in DC, my friends are like, look, you need to let us know where you are. Share your location at all times.
Allie, share your location.
God forbid something happens. Like it's dangerous up there. You don't realize how it is. And I'm a city girl. I grew up in the tri-state area and I'm used to walking around the streets in New York by myself. But even then I knew people. So it wasn't like I was actually by myself. It's different. And I'm like, I want to go explore DC as an adult. I was here as a kid. I want to explore it as an adult. And they're like, no, you got to take someone with you.
We did. We'd always, and always, we don't end up always getting a driver. You're right. Exactly. Right. So I love that she came out and said, listen, you can talk about statistics all you want, because crime is the worst in the nation and the worst in the world. And it goes to being a little less worse does not make it what it should be. What I loved to see yesterday when I went back and rewatched the press conference was, when you see that this show of strength come out from leadership, people that Donald Trump has appointed to be a part of his administration, it excites me because it feels like there's an authority that's walking around now in Washington, D.C. And I don't mean in the form of a dictator. I mean, when you take over an area, what do you do in your household? What do you do for those out there that are married, when, in your joint, and you really want to, you believe in God, and you want to take authority and dominion over it, right? You want to be able to pray over the area that you're in. To see people with this kind of integrity and power and authority now take back Washington, D.C., it almost feels like you're seeing it kind of on a spiritual level too. Take a listen to Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth roll out exactly what he's launching in D.C. Take a listen.
At your direction this morning, we've mobilized the DC National Guard. It'll be operationalized by the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, through the DC Guard. You will see them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week. At your direction as well, sir, there are other units we are prepared to bring in. Other National Guard units, other specialized units. They will be strong, they will be tough, and they will stand with their law enforcement partners. This is nothing new for DOD. As the president noted, at the border, we've got 10,000 troops down there who've been operating in defense cooperation areas, defense zones, where there's zero illegal crossings because of troops on strikers scanning the border. We've been protecting other people's borders for 20 years. It's about time we protect our own. And we're working with ICE and CBP. In Los Angeles, We did the same thing, working with the California National Guard, working with ICE officers. ICE officers deserve to do their job and not be attacked. We will work alongside all DC police and federal law enforcement to ensure this city is safe, this city is beautiful. And as I always say about President Trump to the troops, he has their back. And my message to the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Washington is, we have your back as well. Be tough, be strong. We're right behind you.
We could not have a stronger SecDef. I'm
telling
blown
you.
away. And I love it. Like, I like the hand gestures. I'm like, all right, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
He means business.
He means business. He's not playing around. Daddy means business.
When you see the knife hand, it's business. It's business.
It's business. I want to just show quickly, because I want to get to some of the other videos. Sorry, I just had a thought in my head. No, I'm going to filter it this one time, and I'll talk to you about it afterwards, Miss Allie. But they've already arrested. Take a look at this graphic. 37 criminals. This was yesterday when we pulled this. So seized 11 illegal firearms. Hey, where's all those people that want gun control? They should be ranting and raving about this.
Right.
And they've issued 4 narcotic charges. So this was actually
and that's crazy because they have gun control in DC.
Which gun control only, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. All you're doing is taking away legal people.
I like to equate it to prohibition.
Yes. You just
That's
made
what it is.
Well, speaking of hand gestures, Allie, and I love that we now have confirmed the U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, who is a D.C. U.S. attorney. She's come out and said enough is enough. This changes today. This was such a show of force in this press conference yesterday. Take a listen to Jeanine. I want to call her Judge Jeanine, but I'm not going to do that. Take a listen.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you, Madam Attorney General, and to all my partners here. We all want the same thing. We all want a safe city. We want a safe capital. We want to be able to bring our families here. We want to be able to come and enjoy the history that makes this place great. And unfortunately, we are not in that position right now. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for taking the step that we need right now to make criminals understand that they are not going to get away with it anymore. And I'm not going to stand here and go over and over the cases. But what I can tell you is this. I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest, intent to kill. I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the DC Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens. And it starts today. But it's not going to end today because the president is going to do everything we need to do to make sure that these emboldened criminals understand we see you, we're watching you, and we're going to change the law to catch you. And my final note is this. These kids understand that the jurisdiction is through the state attorney general, Brian Schwab. I did a poster of the young man from Doge who was beaten bloody with a severe concussion, a broken nose. And then I did a poster of what happens to those kids because I can't arrest them. I can't prosecute them. They go to family court and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts. Enough. It changes today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Dynamite comes in small packages, y'all. It is always the little ones that are like, no, we are not doing this. Look at me. Look at me. We're not doing this. That's what she did. She went in there like a mom.
Yep, she did.
We are not having, Mira, don't make me take off my chancla because this is what all of you youths are going to get. Listen, Y'all can't be doing this. Look, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this one thing, and I need y'all to hear me. Any Republican, any MAGA, America First, that is in DC, that has that gumption, that wants to step into the ring to run for city council, to run for any position that will assist in getting the streets cleaned in DC, now is your time.
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, now is your time. For if you stay silent for this time that you have been born in, you and your family will sure perish. That is not a threat. That is in the Bible, and it applies to this. And
it does,
if not
absolutely.
you, then who? If not now, then when? Right now is your time. Put your hat in the ring. Let's go.
I believe you, Allie. I believe there are so many people across the nation, and even people that we speak with here in our circle of influence, that are feeling that call. They're feeling that nudge, and that is a spiritual awakening that says, listen, you were designed, our forefathers understood that we are only governed of, by, and for the people. That means people like you and I, like you watching this today, you have a role to play in this. Maybe it's just getting behind the right candidate. Maybe it's, making sure you take 10 of your friends to go vote. But maybe it is occupying a seat in an area where, you know what, we need good people like you. And it's not, somebody else can't do it. You can't wait on Trump. Listen, Trump is one person who's now got a little less than like 3.25 years left.
Yep.
It takes nothing for a flip of I want to say like a snap of a finger to say it's all undone. You get somebody, the wrong person in the presidency, and all these executive orders that they have not codified into law go by the wayside. That's why you have to get people in locally. And Allie, I think that's part of what I want to call her Judge Janine. That's part of what she is saying here is that, listen, her hands are tied. So she needs help within DC. She needs help within a lot of these judges that have been appointed under the other administration. Allie, I love your call to action because I believe there are good people in DC that want to occupy these seats.
You were born for such a time as this. Take that and roll with it. And if
but it doesn't.
You can always contact us.
Contact at openmicladies.com. That's right. Allie and I will put you on the right path. Listen, that wasn't the end of it, though.
America.us. You can call me.
Yes.
My number's on the website. So,
but that wasn't where the mic was actually dropped. Do you think it would be? But Kash Patel comes out and just blows my mind with some of this reporting. He says the streets are actually safer because of the FBI presence that's been there. Take a listen to Kash Patel.
Had a big success.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for your leadership, Deputy Attorney General, and the rest of our interagency partners. Mr. President, the following is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And I just want to highlight that before I get into Northern Virginia. This year alone, under President Trump's administration, we've had over 4,000 child victims identified and found. That's a 33% increase from the same time period last year. 33% increase. We've had a seizure of 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl up to this date. That is a 25% increase since the same time period last year. And just to put it in perspective, 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl is enough to kill 115 million Americans. 115 million Americans. Cops are getting after it. The FBI has arrested 19,000 people this year alone. Thanks to President Trump's administrations, that's double than where we were this time last year. And we have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against children. 270 of them are human traffickers of children. Mr. President, this is what happens when you have great leadership at the Attorney General with Pam Bondi. Your administration's priority of protecting the homeland and protecting American citizens and protecting our children, and the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate is on track to be the lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities. And how do we do it? And what are we going to bring to D.C.? What we did in Northern Virginia, thanks to Terry Cole and Governor Youngkin and the team, we stood up a task force out in my Northern Virginia field office, and we said, let's let good cops be cops. Let's get them the intelligence and what they need, and let's get the red tape out of their way, and let's get DOJ partnered up with us to bring great prosecutions. And that's exactly what we did. In 1 month, we arrested 545 violent felons. 545 in the state of Virginia, thanks to Governor Youngkin's partnership. And that simplicity in law enforcement is what's coming to Washington, D.C. When you let good cops be cops, when you give them the intel they need, when you work with our Homeland Security Task Force, when you work with Terry and Gaddy and I go way back to Miami, these guys are great leaders of the respective departments and law enforcement capacities. And when you have the DOJ and President Trump driving behind this mission, we are going to clean up Washington, D.C., and we're going to do it the right way, the lawful way, and we're going to make sure Washington, D.C. is safe again. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General.
Wow. We can bring it back, Krista. They're just all sitting there like, we have not seen this in a very long time. We did not see, Biden didn't do like a single press conference for like the last 6 months that he was president. When's the last time you've seen a show of force like that? Everybody named to the heads of the departments that Trump has appointed them to were there standing in solitary. This is the FO part of FAFO. And I love this. I want popcorn. This is good.
I mean, it's great. I mean, you are absolutely right. When was the last time we saw something like this? I don't think we've ever seen anything as strong as what we're seeing right now. And I think I'm going to break in with just some breaking news real quick happening here in our home state of Florida. Our bench just got stronger here in Florida. Our strength just got stronger here in Florida as Senator Jay Collins has been named and appointed Lieutenant Governor of Florida. He's a personal friend of mine. I know his wife and his children very close. And I just want to send congratulations to him and his family. No one deserves it better. Well-deserved, well-earned, Senator Jay Collins. Actually, now Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins. So
that is amazing. And so again, here's another example of his service didn't stop with the service in the military, right? He continues to serve. His wife, Layla, is that right?
Yeah, Layla.
Yeah, she's amazing. She was just at the press conference with Ashley Moody that we were at.
And she now sits on the board of education. So I mean,
as a mom voice, right?
And she's also prior service. So our veterans are I'm loving it so much.
Congratulations to the Collins family and to Jay Collins. We love what you do here in the state of Florida. That's awesome. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got more to talk about with what's happening, updates from the Russia collusion hoax that we now know was a hoax, including J.D. Vance's words about what happened to General Michael Flynn during that time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Open Mic.
Gold IRA companies are a dime a dozen, especially in conservative media. We vetted out 34 companies and chose Augusta Precious Metals.
With the lowest across-the-board spreads in the gold IRA industry, Augusta saves Americans thousands of dollars.
They are the only major gold IRA company that has zero complaints from their customers. Zero. None. Augusta Precious Metals does not have commissioned sales reps, which means their goals are aligned with yours.
They were the only gold IRA company that demonstrated integrity and transparency without using gimmicks.
The informative one-on-one web conferences by Augusta Precious Metals answer all of their customers' questions before they make a move.
If you're ready to learn about protecting your wealth and retirement with gold and silver, request your free gold guide from Augusta Precious Metals today.
Visit patriot.tv/gold. That's patriot.tv/gold today.
Sorry, I was checking YouTube because I was like, ooh, getting a little lippy there. Hope they didn't kick us off. Welcome to Open Mic, guys, with Allie and Michelle. Make sure you follow us on @OpenMicLadies on all platforms. And make sure when you're following us and watching the show live that you comment below. We'd love to hear where you're watching us from. What is the crime like where you're at? Are you hoping that maybe your local city or your big city, your capital in your state takes a little bit of action like Donald Trump is? We would love to see our streets become safer. Allie, Adam Schiff, I don't think our capital is going to be safe as long as he is in office. I cannot believe. We knew he was Shifty Schiff for a reason, right? But what's coming out about him, not only the allegations about mortgage fraud, which if you and I did, we'd already be wearing an ankle monitor, but he can do it and still work. Take a look at this is coming,
should not happen, actually.
No, this is coming straight from FBI Director Kash Patel. Democrat whistleblowers now, guess what? They had a conscience too, Democrats, and they came out and said, you know what? What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So now Democrat whistleblowers are telling the FBI that Schiff okayed the leaking classified intel to hurt Trump, which we know a lot of it was fabricated, but the things that were classified, we now have a sitting representative who's leaking intel.
This is crime.
Yeah.
That is a crime. I'm actually gonna go to Anna Paulina Luna because she just posted about this.
Nice.
Here it goes. It says under 18 USC 793, leaking classified info is punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment per count, fines and forfeiture. See also 798 for similar penalties on specific disclosures. So he cannot get away with this.
He better start working on that self-tan because he's not going to look good in orange.
He'll look fine in orange, Adam Schiff. That's where he needs to be.
We want to see this.
We should make it hot pink and embarrass them.
And put a little mic on it. Oh, mic. Sorry. Just don't worry about that. Here is John Solomon. I love his reporting. He's one of us that started off really with independent media and journalism, and look where he's at now. He is speaking on Fox News about this. Take a quick listen.
In this case, eyewitness in the room with Adam Schiff, able to deliver to the FBI. The good news is that Kash Patel has gotten these documents to Congress. By the way, this is the first of several major leak investigations we're going to see over the next several days. You're going to see other major people that were clearly identified by the FBI as having leaked classified secrets. Their own staff turned them in when interviewed by the FBI. Nothing again happened. It's a common pattern. The question now is in Donald Trump's Justice Department, does that dynamic change?
It will change. I believe he's going to hold people accountable. He alluded to this in the Oval Office that he knew Schiff was shady. And I thought, wow, does he have a personal vendetta against? He knew this was coming out. Yeah.
Are we going to see handcuffs?
Furry ones?
What is
no? I'm laughing because it's an inside joke from the MAGA meeting I was at last night. It was pretty funny. We were talking about.
I know.
We want to just see perp walks. We just want to see it.
We really do, and I think we might. I don't think our DOJ is playing around. I really do think that they want to hold people accountable for things that they do. And hopefully, even if it's your friends, even if there are people that are close to you that are doing things that are not legal
on the up and up,
you should be able to hold them accountable.
And that's what I love about these whistleblowers being Democrat whistleblowers who worked in the office with Adam Schiff, because you're the ones that are closest to these representatives. And if they're not listen, Democrats shouldn't want corruption either. I mean, technically, although anyway, I won't get into that. Allie, the Gateway Pundit, which I know called us messengers of truth tellers, which thank you, Gateway Pundit. They did have a little meeting of the minds of all those that were affected by the Russia hoax and collusion that took place under the Obama administration. But this is the first time I'm hearing, at least to my ears, J.D. Vance really speaking about General Michael Flynn being that tip of the spear that they went after first. Take a listen.
This is great.
We have General Flynn, who was one of the original ones who, the media just followed him around, him and his wife, and abused him so bad. When
the original victim in some ways of the Russia collusion hoax.
Yeah.
A patriot, a lifelong public servant, but they really tried to destroy him over the idea that he was in bed with Vladimir Putin.
I love that. They tried to destroy him.
They did. And I'm glad JD Vance came out and said something. I mean, it just goes to show that, it further cements that Flynn was wrong and that we have all been right in this entire thing. And I hope that those that have called him a traitor or some kind of plant, like I hope you guys are eating crow. And some of y'all I love, because some of y'all I know, and some of y'all are friends of mine. But I hope that you are seeing the light now, that now in the light of all of the things that are coming out, that now you see that he was a victim of weaponized government.
Absolutely. And then like JD Vance said, in a lot of ways, the first victim. And this is a story, Allie, that if you and I weren't so close to General Flynn and to the family and to him being in our area, like living here in our area, I don't know that I would be as knowledgeable about the story. I can remember times when we were on the Flynn movie tour, the red carpet event for his movie, which if you like that, go to flynnmovie.com. You'll be able to catch the full film there. He would ask, how many of you guys, raise your hands, patriots, how many of you guys are so shocked that I ended up doing time, for this? And these are patriots that should know this story, right? And they would raise their hand like, yeah, I'm shocked you did time. And he would say, well, I didn't. I was actually I was exonerated. But the media worked in such a way that you believe that I am.
Operation Mockingbird, which is still in effect today.
Wrap up smear.
We need to get rid of the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act. guys, make sure you're making those phone calls to the Speaker of the House and telling him to put that to the floor for a vote. It needs to be put to a vote so we can repeal it. It needs to be
Absolutely. And this is exactly why media matters. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, I don't tune into cable TV. That's great. But a lot of people still do. So if you're watching this, wherever you're watching this from, whatever streaming platform, make sure you like us, share it, subscribe, tell your friends about it. It's important that you get updated on the current events. We do it within an hour. It's hard. It's difficult. We do it within an hour, but we bring it to your kitchen table. How does it affect you? What are the ways that you can be educated about it to be able to talk? Because ideally, Allie, we move outside of just our little bubble into our circle, our sphere of influence that God gives us. And we should be able to talk about these topics and shed some light and not just back out of politics altogether because we saw the chaos that occurred when we did that, right?
Right, I agree.
Actually, you know, Krista, since we have time, I want to go to this picture. I think it's the Gateway Pundit. They actually, Allie, they had an America First Ground Zero conference. That sounds fun. That sounds like a place that I want to go.
How come I wasn't invited?
I don't know.
Gateway Pundit, come on.
This was in Las.
On the list. What happened here?
Next year. That was in Las Vegas. And it's funny because one of the gentlemen on the stage, I don't remember which one it was, said, literally what happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas anymore. They're taking this around the country, I think. So I think that's kind of cool. But you have, General Michael Flynn there. You have Roger Stone. He suffered greatly he was one of the ones that they had SWAT teams at his house. Yep. Little old man there. Yes. You've got Mike Lindell, who's lost a lot of his fortune due to fighting the battles of election.
We literally know like most of everyone on that stage. I think there's like maybe two people we don't have connections with.
And Rudy Giuliani.
Guys,
look at Rudy Giuliani. How much did he clean up New York City? Come on, America's mayor. Yeah. And what did these guys do? They all just stood against the deep state and said, you know what? We pledge allegiance to our Constitution and our country before we do party. And look what took place. Yep.
That part. Oh, people don't understand that. When I say that, it ruffles feathers. They're like, how dare you? Clutching proverbial pearls. I'm like, your pearls are fake, girl. It's all right.
Your pearls are fake.
Don't clutch them.
We prefer chains. We prefer bling. We're good.
The Cuban link. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
It's
true, Allie.
Country before party. Country before party.
I do want to talk a little bit about, I know we spent a lot of time at the beginning of the hour talking about what's taken place in DC, but there's one story in particular that I want to talk about. This kid, and I'm going to call him a kid because we're both moms. We've both got kids about this age. He's a Doge employee. He was outed because I think one of his tag names in online was
it was Big Balls.
Big Balls. So that's what they've kind of just been calling him. But he stepped in here, Allie, for a young girl that was I think she was, a gang had surrounded her car, threatening her. He steps in doing what we would tell our sons to do, right? Jump into action. You can see him there. He was savagely beating after coming to the aid of a woman being attacked while in her car. He is extremely heroic, but it speaks to the gang violence in DC.
Violence, not even gang. Like they probably weren't even a part of the same gang. It was just a mob of people.
Yeah.
And that is insane. And this is why masculine men have turned a blind eye to crime that is going on in their own cities, in their own backyards. There was a girl who was essentially attacked on a college campus in front of a guy, and he literally just stared at her, didn't do anything. And she luckily disarmed the guy. He had a weapon, a gun, and she disarmed him. And then she's standing there with her arms out looking at the dude. Like, what were you going to do? You weren't going to do anything?
Yeah.
So this just goes to show that, yes, you are going to be putting yourself in harm's way, but what's worse?
To stand there and do nothing.
To stand there and do nothing and let this poor woman, girl, whoever it was, child, it doesn't matter who it is, elderly person get beat up and taken advantage of in front of your eyes. Like, you have the ability to try and save that person. Why would you not?
Which is why I'm so shocked at many of the left that are quote unquote protesting. You know, those aren't organic, authentic protests. They are being paid to just kind of incite any kind of uprising against Trump. But what bothers me with every talking point on the left is this is what they say. People that are coming here illegally and crossing our border, this is what they're escaping, is this type of mob rule mentality in their homeland. So your fix is to bring it here. That's not okay. Or to not agree with an administration that wants to crack down on it here. Why would we not be behind this? And Trump also wanting to do it in some of these native areas like Mexico, wanting to help clean up their streets. We all collectively rise to the top if we can be able to live in a place that's safe. We can talk about education, we can talk about healthcare, but if you can't walk to your car without getting it brutally attacked, what difference does it all make? Safety is one of those first things that you learn about when you're talking about a child's ability to learn, right? If they don't feel safe in their environment, and that doesn't mean that you agree with their pronouns, that means you physically make sure that they're safe. Nobody should be laying hands on somebody unwillingly. And I think this is, thank God for people like President Trump. Allie, do we want to end with some laughter?
Absolutely. And before we do that, I kind of want to do this Liberty Cigars read real quick. I kind of just threw it together last minute. Liberty Cigars, we are not sponsored by, but we are affiliates of this fabulous company. It's a toast to American heritage. From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty, Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake, from the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection, light a Liberty cigar, and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com and use promo code OpenMic for 10% off because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history.
That's right. And Allie, we're celebrating so many wins in the Trump administration. What do you do when you celebrate?
You light a cigar and you pour yourself a glass of wine or a glass of bourbon. Let's go. Make sure you go to
Casamigos.
That right, or Casamigos, whatever you want. Make sure you go to libertycigars.com and type in promo code OpenMic to receive 10% off. Thank you guys so much for supporting such a wonderful American-made company and one of your favorite.
And supporting Open Mic by supporting them. We love that. Make sure you use promo code Open Mic. Thank you for that, Allie. Let's end up closing here with Sean Farage, who does the best Trump impersonation. He's going to chime in on all the chaos happening in DC. Let's take a listen.
This is your favorite president, and I'm happy to announce Operation Big Balls. We're cleaning up Washington, D.C. We have to do it. Somebody has to do it. We're going to do it. Operation Big Beautiful Balls. That's what we're going to call it. And, we have to do this because what happened to Big Balls, Edward Corstein, he's a highly respected, highly talented guy. He was attacked by thugs, and we're not going to let that happen to anybody else. I got along very well with AC/DC. You know who I'm talking about, the band, Australian people. I got along very well with them. As they say, I have the biggest balls of them all, the biggest and most beautiful balls of them all. And that is why we're going to federalize and clean up Washington, D.C. It is a hellhole. It's a cesspool. It is run by thugs, and we're going to clean it up because what happened to Big Balls should not happen to anybody else. That much I can tell you. We're taking it under our control, and it will now be run by the most ballsy president. They call me president, biggest balls, believe it or not. Everybody knows it. It'll be run by the most ballsy president of all time. I'm the only guy with the balls to do it. That much I can tell you. So we will have a beautiful, cleaned up Washington, D.C. Operation Big Beautiful Balls will be a rousing success. Thank you. God bless you. And thank you for your attention to this matter.
I need a moment.
He will be on Trump Tuesday tonight on X at 8 p.m. It's 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern, right there on X. A special guest is at Lee Smith, DC, and at Fool_Nelson on Russia ×3, with hosts at Real Person Politics and at Crypto Lawyers with a Z. And at 10 p.m., Mr. President Sean Farage comes in and he takes questions from the stage. So it's pretty awesome. You guys should join it tonight at 7. I mean, at 8.
It's amazing. And Allie, one of the things I love about X Spaces is I could be on there and still cooking dinner and still doing dishes and folding laundry. And you're staying informed. It's kind of the same kind of chatter that we have. You're just staying informed and hearing a lot of different perspectives. So make sure you join. Allie and I will both be listening and be on there as well. Yeah.
Allie, get educated. It's important. And I can't wait to see who's running in DC actually for like in 26, because y'all, the time is now. That
well, and here's the thing,
wide open.
Here's the thing: as soon as somebody like SecDef Pete Hegseth says what he says, and U.S. Attorney now, Pirro, when they come out and say we're behind you, we're going to back you. Watch the people that now go into law enforcement, people that now go into the intelligence community, ICE, the people that run for office locally, because that's all it takes is just a little bit of, do you have my back?
Yeah,
and we're saying collectively, yes, we do. Get
Now's
out there and run for office.
Now's the time. You can do it.
Absolutely. Ooh, are we talking to each other?
I guess.
I don't know. Maybe.
Clean
it up first is all I'm saying. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining Open Mic. Make sure you follow us individually right there at Real Ally Leger, at Michelle Posey, and of course at Open Mic Ladies. Make sure you visit our website at www.openmicladies.com. We'll have a storefront coming soon. You can also catch some of the special events. We'll be at Allie. Thank you. It's good to see you, Allie. I know we continue to work together, but we won't see each other till tomorrow.
So sad. All right, you guys, we'll see you tomorrow bright and early, 10 a.m. Bye.
And I don't care how they look at me in the deepest heart of a blue city. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. And I know when you smile, you like what you see. If you love America, you'll agree. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on.